I did all that was expected of me. I had my first degree, I got married, I had the house and the wide picket fence, and I had the child. But then it wasn't real. And so many times we live lives that aren't really real because of what's expected of us. You know, our culture, it dictates to us, you're supposed to be this person. You're supposed to fit into this box, do this. But then at the core of our being is a soul crying out for freedom to just be who we're supposed to be. And even now in your space, can you recognize a moment in your life where you were at the point where you said to yourself, enough, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be who I'm supposed to be, regardless of what anybody else says. So it was a dark night for me, a very, very dark, very, very dark night, but it was necessary. Okay, so welcome everyone to our Sunday session. Motivate Community has been here for a long time. Yes, providing for the space where we can come and share and just take off our masks, unwind, learn some tools and strategies, and to just be in this space where we can say, okay, I'm here and I'm doing it. We're all doing it. And today we're going to be talking about transforming scars to stories. It's a heavy topic, and many persons I know, they wouldn't want to open the Pandora's box, so to speak, but it is necessary at this time. We're just speaking about healing the inner child and the workshops we've been having and the conversations, the difficult conversations. And now's the time. It's a time to have those conversations. It's a time to heal in whatever form, using journaling, kintsugi, whatever form. But it's a time to have the conversations and time to ask what if questions. So welcome once again. I'm Jennifer Richards-Wilson, and I've been a part of this community for quite a long time. Yes, thanks to Adrian, Dark, and so many persons here who have been a part of my journey. Thank you so much for just being here. When I came into this community, I had no idea I'd be doing anything like this. I was just seeking for a space, a community where I could come and learn and grow and do the work. And believe me, we have been doing the work in this community. We have been doing the work and becoming better. So for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm from the beautiful, tranquil island of Jamaica. I've been in China for the last 5 years. I'm an educator by profession. I'm also an ICF transformation coach and NLP practitioner and author. I've been writing for a long time, and I found solace in just being able to express my thoughts, to put it on paper, and to recognize that thoughts have the capacity to heal. Right through writing, journaling, we can find solace, we can find forgiveness, we can find healing. And I just released my 5th book, From Scars to Stories. Yeah. Why did I write this book? I have come to appreciate my scars. And you'll be hearing my story. And I hope that we'll have the courage to share our own stories today as well. This is our safe space. We can come, we can share, we can write, we can heal, we can begin the process of forgiveness. I have this book also, Embracing Forgiveness. It's a workbook I did last year, because I recognize the importance of forgiving yourself first. in order to heal from your scars. So this is my book, and today we're going to be just doing some work in it and beginning the process of healing. And of course, we have our communities here. We have our coaches, our therapists, our consultants here. We have persons here you can reach out to at the end of the session, and you can find the help that you need to continue the journey of healing. So I'm going to be reading a poem that I wrote in this book. It's called Beauty for Ashes. And I remember when I wrote this poem, I was at a very, very low point in my life. Being from a traditional family in Jamaica, and the first of many things, the first of all my family members to become divorced as well. First to travel anywhere, but Beauty for Ashes has been my mantra for a very long time, because years ago, all I saw were ashes. All I saw in my life was just ashes and scattered pieces. But through the power of community, through the power of journaling and writing, I've come to appreciate my scars. So let me begin. In the quiet of the morning light, when shadows fade and hope ignites, from the remnants of what once was, a whisper stirs, a gentle cause. The ashes lie where dreams have burned. In heartache's grip, the soul has turned. Yet from the dust, through pain and strife, emerges grace, a new way of life. My words echo beauty for ashes. The scars we bear tell a tale of battles fought, of hearts that sail. Through storms of doubt in darkest nights, we rise again, embracing light. For every tear that stains the ground, a seed of strength is waiting found. In sorrow's depth, in loss's clasp, the promise blooms a tender grasp. From brokenness, the spirit soars, a tapestry of hope restores. With every breath, a chance to see the beauty born from agony. My words echo beauty for ashes. So let the ashes be a guide to paths where love and courage bide. For in the ruins a fire glow, transforming pain into radiant prose. Embrace the journey, trust the way, for beauty rises from yesterday. In every heart that learns to mend, sorry, it is a story of resilience without end. My words still echo beauty for ashes. And that's the opening poem for my book, From Scars to Stories. I wrote this on my Facebook page a couple of years ago, and it sparked such a heated debate. The nicest thing that ever happened to me was getting divorced. Wow, what a statement. I wonder if you can make any statement like this. But if you can't, I hope that by the end of the session, you will be able to make a similar statement, reframing our tragedies, looking at them as turning points. The nicest thing that ever happened to me was getting a divorce. I don't endorse divorce. It's horrible. It's terrible. It's heartrending, but it happened. But it was a turning point in my life. It was when I looked at the shatters, my life was shattered. You know, I did all that was expected of me. I had my first degree, I got married, I had the house and the wide picket fence, and I had the child, but then it wasn't real. And so many times we live lives that aren't really real because of what's expected of us. You know, our culture, it dictates to us, you're supposed to be this person. You're supposed to fit into this box, do this. But then at the core of our being is a soul crying out for freedom to just be who we're supposed to be. And even now in your space, can you recognize a moment in your life where you were at the point where you said to yourself, enough, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be who I'm supposed to be, regardless of what anybody else says. So it was a dark night for me, a very, very dark, very, very dark night, but it was necessary. And in my book, I wrote about one of the scars that I bore for years. It was on a Saturday that my ex-husband came, and I remember we were playing, my son and I were playing in the yard. It was about 2 years old at that time. And I remember he came up with a moving van. And I never expected this at all. And the moment I saw the moving van, I knew what was coming. So I called a taxi, sent my son to my parents' home because they live nearby. And I sat at the back of my house and I listened as he moved every single piece of furniture out of the house. He removed everything. We were left with nothing, not even a spoon. And I listened and I cried as I heard him move the stove, the fridge, all the furniture out of the house. And when he had left, I went into the house and the house was empty. He left us with nothing, not even a spoon, no curtains, no fridge, no table, nothing, no bed. Nothing was left in the house when he was finished with us. And that was when I really broke apart because I didn't plan on being a single mom. I didn't plan on getting divorced. But that moment, sorry, awoke, it awakened something in me that I didn't know I had. I found myself. I found myself in that moment, who I really am supposed to be. Sometimes it takes the breaking apart for us to find who we are really supposed to be. So in the chat, I want you to just type, can you resonate with any of this? Have you ever been to a point where you break apart? And how did that affect you? Are you still broken? Do you still need mending? Share in the chat. Even one word. Reframing, yes. Yeah, sometimes it takes for us to, the facade that we live, it needs to be shattered. Yeah, it needs to be shattered for us to find who we truly are. Because of that occurrence, I found who I'm supposed to be, who I'm supposed to be in that moment. So his actions led me to transition, to find the courage to leave Jamaica, to come to China. And this is where it all began. When I was planning to leave, my parents were saying, no, Jen, it's China. I mean, go to the US, go to Canada, go to the UK. China? A whole different everything. Sometimes stepping into the unknown is what we really need. And China was my unknown. But this was where I finished my master's. This was where I did my certificate in coaching. This was where I found the Motivate community. This was where I truly became an author, a writer, a mentor, a trainer. This was where I found my superpower in my scars. Can you resonate with any of this? Yes, I know that movie. Eat, Pray, Love. Yeah, she was searching too. I love that movie. She was searching as well. But it was in the moment when everything shattered that she found where she was supposed to be. And it was in my moment of taking off the mask, of living my true self, recognizing that if that hadn't happened, this wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have left home. I wouldn't have become the person I am today. I would have been helping women like myself work through trauma, work through unforgiveness and shame. That word right there, shame. Shame has a way of just crippling us in every way because we are supposed to be this kind of person to fit into this norm, this box, nice and rose-colored boxes, but that's not the reality. And yesterday, when we had our healing the inner child, so many things came out of that because persons recognize that I'm so broken inside because of what happened when I was 5 years old, when this happened when I was 6, 10 years old. And yesterday Rosanna shared her story of growing up in a home that was broken, with abuse, with drugs, and you never have imagined that, looking at her. But look at her now, sharing her story, a hypnotherapist, using her scars to inspire and to change life, just as I am doing now. So, can we transform our scars into stories? We all have scars. Some of them visible, some of them invisible. We all have scars. So today we're going to look at using our scars to tell our stories in whatever form. We heal differently. There's no 7 steps to healing or 8 steps or follow this guide or this formula. We heal through music, through art, through creative forces, journaling, drama. And I have a workshop coming up in March that I'm looking at the ancient art of kintsugi, the Japanese art form that I have just fallen in love with. When I was doing the research for my book, I came upon kintsugi and I can't, the story behind it, using the shattered pieces of our lives, mending them, not hiding all the jagged edges, but using the golden thread of life, of learning to put all of that back together. So we're going to be telling our story, we're going to be writing. Yes, because, yes, ruin is a gift. Thank you, Alicia. Elizabeth Gilbert. Ruin is a gift. Can we ever see it as a gift? Can we ever see what we went through as a child? Some of us have been abused in so many ways, neglected, rejected in so many ways, and we hide behind the mirror. We hide behind ourselves, our jobs, or our prestige, our families. But then there comes a time when there's a breaking point and we shatter. But in that shattering, in that space of everything falling apart, we can find our superpowers. We can find the essence of our scars as being our superpowers. Yeah. So storytelling, wow, we've been telling stories from the beginning of time. It's how we have transferred our culture, our knowledge. It's how we connect. It's how we entertain ourselves. When I was growing up, well, you can guess my age now, I'm quite old. We didn't have television, we didn't have electricity. Only a few persons in the community had electricity, and my family wasn't one of them. We had no TV, we had no smartphones. So at the end of each day, my siblings and I would tell stories. And that's where I think I developed my vivid imagination to just write. We play games. We would make up stories and play games and write and do riddles to entertain ourselves and to really be in the moment of belonging to a family. So we told stories, and stories are a way in which we connect with each other. Doesn't matter where you're from. Adrian is in Australia, and I can connect with him through stories. Why? Because we have all been there. When Adrian told his story of, so many times he told the story of not being emotionally intelligent. Yeah, and how he had to find his way, his divorce, raising his kids, all of that. Alicia, oh wow, she has shared her story so many times. Being vulnerable, choosing to be vulnerable, to share our stories and saying shame, no more. Heartache, no more. Unforgiveness, no more. Bitterness, no more. I will share my story. I will shed light and I will inspire others. Sorry. So storytelling has a capacity to heal and, of course, to leave a legacy for our loved one. So we can define a scar as a mark on the skin or inside the body that forms after a wound or injury. And we have physical scars with emotional scars. I know Darko was in an accident years ago and that left his voice impaired. And sometimes when he talks, you don't really hear what he says. But he chose to use his scars to inspire others. He's a trauma therapist, and he's helping millions of people out there using his physical scar, not choosing to say, okay, this will deter me from telling my story. He's still here. He still shows up. He's still present. He still mentors despite his physical scar. Some of us have emotional scars, invisible scars. Those are the ones that really hurt, the ones that nobody can see, the ones that in the night we cry, we fall apart, we take off the mask when nobody's looking. The ones that, yeah, something triggers us, we fall apart. A scent, a movie, a sound, and we fall apart because we need to be healed. And one way to heal is to open those scars, let the light in into all that brokenness. The light can come in and we can begin to eliminate shame, to eliminate unforgiveness, to eliminate bitterness, anger, and to embrace healing. So, what if, I love these little words, but, however, what if, the word if, what if you could see your scars as something wonderful? What if you could transform your scars into stories to inspire and to transform lives? So we're going to be doing a little free writing because, of course, it's about telling stories. And I'm a storyteller. I love writing. I love journaling. What if you were asked to share one story about your life? Which one would you share? I'm going to give you a few minutes to think about that in this space. What if you were asked to share one story about your life to change somebody else's life? So we're going to move on at this time to think about each experience you want to heal from and write if that had never happened. So now we're going to be doing some writing. I hope you have your books, your notebooks and paper and pen. If that never happened, and write down whatever comes to mind. I'm going to give you a few minutes to do this. If that had never happened, write down whatever comes to your mind. We're not checking for grammar now or spelling. or syntax or anything. We just want to write. And as we write, we can track our thought patterns. We can see where or thoughts are leading us into a particular area of what we really need to deal with, what we need to uncover, forgive, and eliminate from our lives. Take a few minutes. If that had never happened, write down whatever comes to your mind, and the floor is open for you to share. If that had never happened, I've shared my story. If I had never gotten a divorce, if my husband had never moved everything out of the house and left me with nothing, not even a spoon, I would not be in China today. I would not be a coach. I would not be an author. I would not be a trainer or a mentor. I would not have these platforms if that had never happened to me. What about you? Take a few minutes, just write it down. Whatever comes to your mind. And let's share. So exciting, so curious. What are they writing? Darko. Are you writing? You know, you have that book to write, Darko, right? I've been saying it to you for ages. You have that book to write, to put out there, right? It's time to release your story into the world.
I have many ideas. Yes, I was also thinking about the book. What is my thinking? You know, I have a lot of ideas, but it is hard to me to put them out. I don't know how to find.
We're going to brainstorm in a few minutes. We're going to be doing some brainstorming in a few minutes. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So we're here.
Okay.
We're turning our scars
so,
into stories.
Yes, regarding this, you know what? If that had never happened to me, I thought I have what comes on during this session is about losing the job. I think this is something which happened to me. It was very traumatic for me because it was something unexpected and things like that. So if that not happened to me, then I would not become a coach. That I would not found this other part, something about emotional healing and things like that. So I think this was the turning point in my life.
Yes, scars are turning points if we allow them. If we open them up, illuminate them, and find the tools, find the strength, the courage to have the conversations and to begin the healing process, to reach out into the communities, to reach out to therapists and coaches, say, I need help with this. I need help because I refuse to live like this anymore. But we have to have the courage to open these wounds, though painful they may be, open the wounds and allow the light to come in, begin the healing.
And I also learned that whenever we talk and we share about our painful experience, it changes. It automatically changes, you know, because every time when we talk, it's we are opening the memory.
Yes,
and
we're
the memory
deleting
is open.
shame, eliminating shame and regret, bitterness.
And every time when we open the memory, it is changing. It is reframing somehow.
We have to choose to be vulnerable, and that's where our strength comes. When we choose to be vulnerable enough to say, I was here, this happened to me, but guess what? It changed my life, and now I'm stronger and better because of this. Our scars prove that we had lived, not just existed, because there are many persons who just exist. They exist from one day to another day. But our scars prove that, yes, I lived.
Boom! You made it here! Good on you. Make sure you click the subscribe button below and check out the playlist at the end. If you'd like to come along to our Sunday sessions where we host a live, free Q&A for our students and members, you're welcome. I'll see you there.